Hey, it's Fit Gear Hunter, and today I'm just going to give you a video just to give you a summary of what the YouTube channel is focused on and about, as well as the website, because it's just long overdue for an update. I've just gone through some new branding and obviously a new name, Fit Gear Hunter. So the whole point of the site is to review and test devices for the single purpose of evaluating and developing your fitness. So tracking the fitness components, tracking the intensity of the workouts, and doing it all in a watch that has purpose and use for everyday life. I remember when I first started this concept and idea, I saw these trackers coming onto the market, and I thought that was super interesting. That was super cool just to see things that could track different components. And I bought my first tracker. It was a little cheaper end version of a Garmin that had an optical heart rate sensor. And I went into my first workout, and I was so fired up. And I went into the workout of the day, and I crushed it, and I was gasping. And I remember looking down at the watch to check my heart rate, and it said 97 beats per minute. And I knew that was way off. And so I was just so brokenhearted that the optical heart rate sensor had failed me in my first real effort to track the intensity of my workouts. And so I started to do a search on the internet. I started to look for different products or really reviews that were based in CrossFit training or high intensity interval training, reviews that tested devices for these types of workouts. And what did I find? 8,000 reviews for running. So like running, touches of biking, maybe running, biking, swimming, triathlons blended with triathlon training programs, but nothing for using a device for tracking or testing your high intensity interval cross training workouts. And so I figured I would just sort of start there and just start to figure it out myself. And then maybe over time I would share it with others. And as I look back on past videos, I think, oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. So much that needs to grow. And still even now, so much needs to evolve from here. But that's the premise of the site. What really works for CrossFit, for circuit training, for high intensity interval training, for cross training? What devices really track your training? And then going beyond that, what devices really tell you about how you can enhance or improve your training? And so as I saw what I was upset with and I wanted to figure out what would actually track correctly, just the correct heart rate, then I started to look at, what are some of the health and wellness things that are becoming available and health and wellness aspects that are coming onto the market? And what are some of the smartwatch features? So wanting to evaluate, those had music, some had weather tracking, some had apps and widgets and watch faces. What are the brightness differences of all these different watches? What is the battery life differences? How fast would they die with transflective screens versus AMOLED screens? And what options exist out there? And then beyond just the sort of surface testing of devices, so heart rate, will it track a workout accurately? Does it offer smart things? And does it, smartwatch functions? And does it offer wellness improving aspects? I started to look at, what devices actually evaluate the intensity of your workout? So, I forever got frustrated with okay, here's my heart rate graph. Okay, if I spent 12 minutes in the peak zone 5 or 14 minutes or 3 minutes and then 40 minutes in the peak zone 4, what does that mean? How does that relate to workouts I did last week or my fitness level, my VO2 max level, what I could possibly handle? Did I push myself as hard as I could handle? And so then I started looking at watches that really track the intensity of your workouts. And I found watches that would track, the intensity of the workout, training effect, or cardio load, whatever the different nomenclature is. And then from that to evaluate certain aspects or watches or tracking devices that would track recovery time needed. Like, you killed yourself today, you better take 24 hours or 36 or 72 off because you did Murph and it was too bad. It was, And then from there, what would track your load over time? Like, you've been killing yourself every day for a week straight, your body is going to go into an overstrain mode based on your overall fitness level. And so that's how the site has evolved to what it is now, to really tracking devices that help you evaluate your fitness, help you grow your fitness, help you evaluate the workouts on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis, and how it compares to past week-to-week, past month-to-month basis, and what your recovery time needs are alongside that to try to grow your fitness. So this site is an absolute work in progress. I am not technologically advanced for how I edit videos, but my whole purpose is to spend my time evaluating the true value of different aspects of the watches, or even just the functionality of certain apps and widgets, and how does the background app work alongside the watch, and what can you see on the watch and the app. but to evaluate the actual meat of what you might need rather than how to necessarily visually lay it out. And I know that I've still got room to grow in there. So it's, this backdrop has evolved over time. It used to be, I just would squeeze it in during the day. I'm gonna try to grow those things over time and maybe even have a more workout applicable backdrop. But right now, my whole point is to provide you with full in-depth analysis of watches, like sports-based watches or just smartwatches with sports aspects, smartwatches on the market today, to do a review of how their workout analytics provide value to your fitness and help you evaluate how you can grow your fitness over time. And then more importantly, or maybe sideline or equally as importantly, is to compare these devices to other devices on the market. It's amazing. I see so many videos that will evaluate the components and I think, well, that doesn't do that nearly as well as that, and that doesn't do well as that. And so they might say, this is really good on this watch, but what if it's half as good as something else is out there? So I want to know those types of things when I'm doing a review. Is if you're looking to buy something, now, you're usually going to spend a good amount of money, and you want it to be something that covers a broad set of bases for a long period of time. So I want to provide more comparisons alongside, like, here's the review for this watch, but here's how it compares to other watches. So if you look back in my video history, there's comparisons. I think the most watched video is the comparison of the Suunto Baro 9 versus the Garmin Fenix 6. Two top-end watches, but how do they really compare to one another? So I'm going to try to continue to work on that and make sure that's always a part of reviews as I provide them. So that is Gear Fit Hunter. As always, please subscribe. I've got some new releases coming out, as well as a review for other watches that are currently on the market that I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks. So please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video, but please subscribe for future releases. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.